Hey everybody, it's Steamboat 28 back again here with some more Armchair Theology, and I'm a little bit late. I don't know if you've noticed, we've gone a couple of weeks without a video. Was not my intention, but let me tell you what happened.
Funny thing happened on the way to the YouTube.
I got really stressed, like super duper stressed, like all of the stress, all of it at once. Lots of stress. So since I've spent 3 weeks being a complete ball of angry stress, full of like weird emotion and like craziness, I thought that would be a really good topic for us to talk about because religion, honestly, has a lot of different ways that we can deal with stress, with our emotions. They have a lot of lessons. Different world religions have a lot to teach about the nature of our emotions and how we can handle both of these things, stress and emotion. So what we're going to do first is let you know that this video is going to probably be split into parts because I'm going to ramble for a really long time. I've got 2 hours to do this video in, and if I can record the whole thing in 2 hours, then I will. If not, then I'll record it in bits and pieces over the next couple of days and release them a piece at a time. This one is going to be about stress. Everybody knows what stress is. Everybody has stress. You have stress all up in your bones. It's all like, back here, and you just carry stress in your neck, and you just all over the place, and it hurts. It sucks. It's terrible. And I don't know if you guys know this or not. Some of you will, some of you may not. I have depression. It's not fun. I also have insomnia and occasional bouts of like really acute anxiety. They're not really bad. I'm getting over them. They were mostly social, which is hell for an extrovert, by the way. If you are an extrovert, I would suggest going out of your way not to develop social anxiety for any period of time. It will murderate you. Not fun. But these things often actually compound my stress. They make it seem stressier than it would be before. I've got a history in my family of high blood pressure and heart disease and all these like cardiovascular things that are just problematic, and stress is not good for them. So I really, and I have a temper. I have a really, really bad temper. And I was telling somebody about this today. There are a lot of ways that I've learned to manage my temper. So just understand that I know what stress is, and I have a lot of it. So what I'm about to share with you is not some BS I read in a book. It's things that I do. No matter what the cause of your stress, whether it's stress from the job, stress from your friends, stress from your family. My family stresses me out something major. Sometimes my friends do too. We don't always see eye to eye. That's the thing about being human. You're never going to be exactly on the same level, same wavelength as somebody else. You're gonna clash. No matter how much you get along, you're gonna clash. So there's gonna be stress there. There may be stress in your love life, or stress because you lack a love life. Preach, you know what I'm saying? So there's all this stuff. Sometimes my hobbies stress me. Sometimes I get so stressed about other things that I have problems losing at games. Like, stress will make me a sore loser. I'm not naturally a sore loser. If I think that I've tried my best at a game, then I'll be fine. As long as I've done my best, like Patton says, if a man gives his best, what else is there? And normally that's how I play games. Normally that's how I'll play StarCraft, or normally that's how I'll conduct myself in character at like a vampire LARP, or in Daggereer, or in any of the other Pathfinder, or any of the games that I play that aren't necessarily video games, but some of them are. Even Minecraft stresses me out sometimes. And usually that's when I have an overabundance of stress in another place in my life. And like, I use video games and tabletop games and LARPs to de-stress. I use them to decompress. I use them to get out some of the anger and the frustrations that I have with the rest of the world. But the problem is that sometimes you get so stressed that you log on to your Minecraft server that's brand new. You took 2 days off of it because you had some stuff to do, and you get there and everybody's already ahead of you. They've got in-game content for your modded server, and you're just sitting there with your little stone pick, and you wanted to do it all yourself, and they just keep throwing new things at you. New gifts, new jetpacks, and you're just like, no, go away, I want to do it alone. I want to prove to me that I can do something right, or you misspend your XP on a tabletop character and you kick yourself for a week after it, or you don't, so maybe you miss a swing at golf. I think that golf is a thing that people still do. I like golf. A lot of other people don't like golf. That's why I don't get to play golf, because nobody else likes golf. But my point is that when you get to a certain level of stress, it even affects the way that you release that stress. Because if I am stressed out to the point that I lose a boss battle in a video game, then my inner thought, and this may be my depression, it may be unique to me, maybe other people with depression, maybe other people without depression do not have this problem, but to me, I lose that boss battle, I lose it twice in a row, and I think to myself, this is the one thing I'm supposed to be good at. I'm supposed to be good at gaming. I'm a gamer. That's what I do. I'm supposed to be good at gaming. Or I'm supposed to be good at cooking, and this tastes terrible. What have I done wrong? I can't even do this right. I can't even do the thing that I love right. Like, if I know that I'm good at this and I can't do it right, what chance do I have to do anything else right? And then that just makes your stress even worse. It makes it even harder, and you just start to break down. You fall apart at the seams. You get sullen, or you get angry, or you get snippy or passive-aggressive, or whatever it is that you do. So hobbies are a good way to manage stress, but you have to be on the lookout, because sometimes your hobbies can turn against you. So a couple of the things that I would like to let you know about stress are that stress always seems urgent, but it doesn't always seem important. And the difference between urgency and importancy, that's not even a word, Mitchell. What are you doing? Urgency and importance. The difference between urgency and importance is that urgency is right now, 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 right now. And importance is, this is very vital. Deal with it when you can. That's the difference. The urgency, you guys seen the IT Crowd? The episode with the stress machine, for like everything is on fire. 0118999. You know that episode? And Denim is in there with what's her name? And he's like, "Are you stressed, Jen? Are you stressed? Are you? Are you? Are you? Are you? Are you?" Or he's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?" For like 10 minutes. That is what stress is like. That's what it feels like inside my head. I can't speak to what it feels like inside your head, and it's not necessarily specifically his voice, although it is really annoying. But it's basically that, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? This is a problem. This is a problem. This is a problem. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now." And it's just over and 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 over until it just breaks you. So if we can remove some of the urgency from stress, sometimes we can get a little respite from it. We can get a little bit of relief from stress if we remove the urgency from the equation. And some of the ways that we can remove the urgency from stress are, well, simple tricks. Sometimes it's enough to change one thing, one small thing in your life very radically. Even if it's just a temporary thing. When I used to work at a pizza joint. And we'd get really, really busy, and I'd get really stressed, and all my coworkers, they were cool people, and I loved to hang out with them, but they weren't always the best workers. And I was going behind everybody and picking stuff up, and we had management in every other day, and it was kind of a mess. And some days I would get so stressed. I had so much going on at home. I had so much going on with my love life. I was in school at the time, and it was really hard on me. It was really, really hard on me. And sometimes I would offer to do the dishes, and I would just fill up one of those big metal sinks. They're like the big ones, the big metal sinks in the back. I'd fill it up with ice cold water, and I would just like let it sit there for about 2.5 seconds, and then I would reach my hands in, and I would put my palms on the bottom, on the cool metal bottom. Because when I get stressed, when I get angry, my body temperature gets like crazy. I always feel like I'm smothering. I feel like I'm like in Mount Doom or something. And I don't know if everybody else feels that way or not, but I do. Anger is it makes me feel like it's burning up. Like it makes me feel really warm. I get really hot, and I start to like stand in front of air conditioners and stuff. So I would just take my hands and I would put them on the cool metal at the bottom of the sink and let that cold water just like all up my arm to the elbow. And I would sit there and I would wait until the water didn't feel cool around my arms anymore. And when it no longer felt cool around my arms, I would take my arms out. But during that time, I would not think about what was stressing me. I would think about the temperature of the water only and how it felt. It's like dipping into a cool pool and it makes you feel better. That's it's a simple trick. We'll discuss it later again in the meditation portion, because I really do need to talk about meditation as well. This is probably going to be the third part of this video. It's probably going to be the longest. But you can do things like that. You can do, if you can play a video game that doesn't stress you, play a video game that doesn't stress you. When my grandmother was sick and in the hospital, and I spent most of my time on the couch crying because I'm a great big manly man who misses his gran, I would sit and eat cake icing and watch My Little Pony, because it's got really bright colors, all the endings are happy, there's like a lot of laughter in every episode, It's now don't get me wrong, some of these guys are really creepers and they're not okay, and that's just like disgusting. You should not be able, if you're making a children's show unsafe for children to Google, you should feel ashamed of yourself. But it's a really adorable show in itself, if you take it like it is, and so that helped a little bit too. Chowder is the same way. Oh my god, I love Chowder. Or the Powerpuff Girls. Those shows are just like stupid funny, and they don't really, there's no big drama, there's no massive feels, it's just fun. It's just bright, colorful, distracting fun. So you can do things like that. Don't mind my skin. I'm terrible. Stress breaking out. You can listen to music if you like music. I prefer to listen to music without words. I like instrumental music for when I'm stressed, unless I'm playing video games to de-stress, and then I'll put on some late 80s, early 90s rap because I'm old school. Yo, dog. What up, G? And that's the kind of stuff that I grew up with, and it was really cool. And it just kind of it takes me back to a time before I had so much stress. That's one of the things I listen to that music and I kind of time travel. When you listen to instrumental music, a lot of people will, without lyrics to focus on, because your brain wants to wrap around words because it understands the words. You hear the music and you feel the music, but your brain understands the words and wants to wrap around them and dissect them and think about what the lyrics mean. So when you listen to instrumental music, a lot of people, that part of your brain, just shut down. It'll calm itself down, and so that's one way you can handle stress too. And these are all methods of meditation, and we'll get back into them in the meditation portion of the video. But I want you to know, me to you, person to person, not person to YouTube, not person to Facebook audience, not person to Twitter. But me, directly speaking to you, watching this video, I understand how you feel. We haven't had the same problems. We haven't had the same struggles. We haven't been through the same strife. But everybody that you meet and everybody that I meet is fighting a very hard battle that we know nothing about. So let's be kind to other people, but let's also be kind to ourselves, okay? Can you do that for me? Will you be nice to you for me to lessen your stress levels? Don't be hard on yourself. Don't get stressed out about being stressed. Don't let it compound itself. Just understand that someone out there, someone has been through what you're going through now. And I personally care about you and your stress. And I am sorry that you are feeling this way, and if you need anything, you can drop me a line, I will talk to you, we can chit-chat about it, even if I don't know what you're talking about. You can get super stressed about some kind of football thing that I don't understand, and I'll be there for you, and your friends will too, and your family might be if they're not total dillweeds, and if you can't find anybody that you know that you feel comfortable with talking to, go to someone that does this for a living, someone that gets paid to be neutral about it, and like a therapist or go to a church counselor, or be careful with church counselors. We'll discuss that. That's a whole nother video. Don't let religion beat you down. Religion should lift you up. It should never beat you down. Religion should lift you up. It should never beat you down. But just find someone to talk to if you're stressed. Find something to do to take your mind off of your stress. If you have depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, any of these kinds of mood-altering mental, I don't want to say illnesses, but you know what I mean. If you have any of these conditions that are mood-altering on a level that you personally can't really that alter your moods without a clear reason for them, please go and talk to someone about it. Go and find someone who will help you. Depression lies constantly, as Will Wheaton loves to remind us. Anxiety will scare you about things that aren't frightening on the real. Bipolar disorder, I have some really good friends with bipolar disorder, and some days they're really cool to be around, and some days they're really not, and it's not something that they choose. So go and talk to someone about that. If it's not just stress, but if it's mental illness, or if it's stress and mental illness, go find a professional to chat with. They want to help you, and I do too. So that's stress.